Sorry, I can't hang out tonight. I have 513 men to document in my man catalog.
The woman that you just saw in the video we just showed you will one day be a CFO at a Fortune 500 company. But unfortunately, she is using spreadsheets for her dating life because she wants to figure out which part of the world she will find the love of her life. I don't know, man. Look, I haven't been out in the dating world in a long time, so maybe it's a lot more challenging than I remember it to be. Maybe you have to get involved in these like strategic efforts. But nonetheless, what we're seeing is a woman by the name of Caitlin. She is, making a man catalog to pinpoint exactly where she will likely find her soulmate. So what is Trask? She's using something called Trask. So Trask sets her dating apps to different cities to see who she can match with and catalogs them in her spreadsheet, along with general information about each person, such as their religion and political affiliation. She also indicates whether or not she finds them attractive and their communication style. Okay, so those are all the different categories that she's including in this. But it also goes farther than that, as there's like a method to Trask's madness. So Trask tells people exclusively it's a way to figure out what city has the highest percentage of people she would be compatible with. So the idea was inspired by one of her coworkers who found her fiance by going to different states and different countries for a month at a time. Don't these bitches work? Like, what is going on here? I want to know what is going on here. How are they paying for life? I want to know, because I would like to travel for fun, for some BS reason, love like, oh, I want to find the love of my life, whatever. Like, how are you going and spending a month in one state, a month in another state? How are you making money? I need to know right now. Cenk, over to you.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of possibilities there. So let's take a quick diversion into that. So I know a woman, she like very smart, into politics, etc., gorgeous. And she never paid for her own drinks and never paid for her own meals. She can go anywhere she wants and get everything paid for. And you could say, hey, that's not cool that, but she's like, look, I didn't ask for them to pay for these things. They just pay for them. And then we have conversation and then I go home. That's it, right? So there are different ways. And plus her family could add money, I don't know. But I know you, Anna, you'd be so uncomfortable doing that. You'd never do it, right? So that's part of.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, especially if I'm on a mission to find the love of my life. Like I wouldn't want men bankrolling me knowing I'm not interested in them. I just want to travel to their state to find someone else that I might want to be with. You get what I'm saying? Like it's just, I don't know. This whole thing seems strange. And by the way, Trask is her last name, Caitlin Trask. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so by the way, we're not saying that she did that. I was just giving an example of someone else. Okay.
Right.
And so look, in terms of the actual thing, I don't know, Anna. I mean, I get it. Like, so on the one hand, does it seem like the least romantic thing on earth? Yes, obviously, right? On the other hand, how's romance working out for us? Like, oh, we're going to blindly run into someone at a bar, or I'm going to run into them on Tinder anyway, but I'm just gonna do it super blindly and haphazardly. And so if she's trying to find the right match for her, I think there's some logic in it.
Okay, look, it might work. And if it works, God bless. Like I'm being too harsh, I get it. But I think it's because people are trying to follow some sort of formula, okay, in finding love. But I feel like that spark, that chemistry isn't really something that you can strategize in finding, right? And in fact, I just know from experience, every single guy that I went out on a date with because he looked really good on paper ended up being a disaster, okay? And so, but at the same time, we're so atomized. People don't really go out and meet people in the real world anymore. There are less opportunities to do so. So I get that dating is difficult, it's hard. dating apps for the most part are trash. I'm just keeping it real. So like, I get it. And by the way, credit to people who are putting themselves out there. They want to find love. They want to start a family. That's great. That is a good thing. I worry that people are overthinking it and looking in the wrong places. You know what I mean? Because the love of your life might actually look awful on paper, okay? He might not have much going for him at the moment, but you guys might actually really complement each other personality-wise, values-wise. And the thing that I worry about the most, especially in this era where women are the go-getters, they're getting educated, they're starting careers. I can understand them wanting to find a man that's also well-established in his career, a go-getter, wealthy, whatever. But I think the most magical part about finding the right person who you do have that chemistry and spark with is building your life together, growing together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm worried that they're so focused on who looks good on paper that they're brushing off the guys that might actually be the best partners for them. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hear you. And it takes the serendipity out of it. It takes the magic out of it. But on the other hand, so she's not constitutionally obligated to run that algorithm and go blip, 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 blip. We have decided that Bob in Albuquerque is the correct answer. No, she's gonna go on dates with them eventually, probably a lot of them. And then you're gonna get beyond what's on paper. And you're gonna see if you like the person or you don't. Look, this is my public service announcement, and everybody has different experience, right? But when I was younger, I didn't know, should you go for opposites, because opposites attract is a saying, right? Or should you go for people who are more similar to you? I think the answer is go for people who are more similar to you. And so the reason is you're gonna have same cultural language. And I don't mean that like in terms of ethnicities, right? I mean that you laugh at the same things, you care about the same things, and that just makes life easier, right? So I think the whole opposites attract thing, you can get lucky on it. And my parents are complete opposites, right? And they've been married like 60 years, right? So it's not impossible, but I think it makes it harder to get along. So the fact that she's doing this exercise to find someone that is more aligned with her, while it seems cold and distant, there is definitely logic in it. And she might find someone better for her doing this.
Well, according to her type in Boston is all men over 6'2". So most guys that I am finding are my usual type, which means they have curly hair, good smiles, and interesting prompts in their profile. Someone who it seems like I could have a fun conversation with is what I'm generally finding. After gathering enough data, Trask plans to make charts to better understand which city has the highest percentage of men who are at least 6'2". I'm kidding, I added that part. City that has the highest percentage of people she would be compatible with. She's already tested out the experiment in New York City, Boston, San Diego, and Austin. And she says the ultimate goal is to visit the places where I find there seem to be the most single men that I'm aligned with and visit there and see if anything comes of it. So whatever, I mean, Godspeed. Hopefully she finds the right person and proves me wrong. But don't sleep on the guys that don't have it 100% together, because chances are you probably don't have it 100% together either. So
yeah. So my last thought on this: look, the 6'2" thing, I'm not offended by it. Some guys like, oh, why it's people under 6. No, who cares? Let her pick whoever she wants. Then you find someone you like, right? On the other hand, is it probably too limiting? Yeah, because you're eliminating a lot of dudes if you're only going above 6'2" and above. And I would imagine that the most important part is your mental connection to them, your emotional, psychological connection to them, as opposed to your physical connection to them. But so if you're gonna do it based on just physical appearance and those type of traits, then your spreadsheet needs a lot of help, because that's not the right way to go, in my opinion. But maybe that's just one of her factors, and all the other ones are related to how they think.
Yeah, so she's also like a big TikToker, and my biggest piece of advice is go out into the real world, like meet people in person if you can. I think we all spend way too much time on social media. Actually, no, I don't. I don't spend too much time on social media, and I'm definitely better for it because that time I usually spend with my friends or family or my dog or even just laying on the couch reading, right? So you tend to meet more people when you're out in the real world.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.